What's up, guys? Today is kind of like a slight update video for a video I did back in 2021 and also what's going on currently in 3D printed communities. And I wanted to touch on this because it's becoming very popular in the firearms community because the technology in 3D printers is advancing so fast. You don't have to be a computer engineer to use one anymore. Literally, my daughter does prints all by herself, like without my help at all, like printing off different toys and stuff like that. They made it that simple. 3D printers are popping up in everyone's households, and obviously, you know, a firearms person would be like, well, hey, can I make some firearms stuff? Yeah, you can. Or you could at least. But we'll get into that in a second. Let's first talk about OnlyTechFans at Shopify.com. If you'd like to help support the channel because I'm permanently demonetized from YouTube, one of the best ways to do it is just pick up some merch from OnlyTechFans at Shopify.com. You can get MREs, cool little lighter cases, merch, sweaters, t-shirts, hats, little morale patches like this one. Again, that is the best way to support the channel right now. But let's get on with the video. So back in 2021, I made the video like warning like, hey, they're not just coming after your guns. If you're paying attention to what's going on in the patent scene, they're targeting the information. They're trying to get software control, basically to shut down firearms tech for 3D printers. Now, I didn't really understand like the whole concept back then because I didn't own a 3D printer and I was just schooled on the topic, so I was regurgitating the information. But now I understand it a lot better now and I understand what's going on. Anyways, I tried to warn people. Everyone just blew up my comments. You can't stop the signal. There was like 1,000 of those and telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. It turns out I did because January 2026, Kathy Hochul, who cares? No one likes her anyway. She just made an announcement that in New York, they're going to be regulating 3D printed software.
Proposing the first in the nation law requiring all 3D printers sold in the state of New York to include software that blocks the printer from creating a gun. It's just common sense.
So how are we seeing this play out, what I was talking about in 2021, on the rare breed thing? Like I said, in 2021, they had opened up what can actually be counted as a patent infringement, right? They opened it up and they made it way simple to sue people. There used to be this process so you couldn't just drag people into court. Like you had to present all this evidence and there was a process to being able to stop them. Well, they streamlined the whole process. So now companies can just go after people and start randomly suing people like you've seen in rare breed. Anyway, so what they're doing right now, like how it's proof that this whole thing is about the information, Hoffman Tactical. He had made the super safety, he put that out on open source. He also made some sort of rare breed trigger, right? And put that out on open source. They're saying that the damage caused because it's on open source can't be quantified. And that's what they're trying to sue, to try to have that information taken down. So you can't possess or transmit that information. It's pretty wild, right? And if they win, oh man, that would be a big issue because now we're talking about CAD files being regulated over a patent infringement. I mean, just think about it. The ATF couldn't beat us in court, so they deputized rare breed triggers and are having them do the dirty work. And it's working. It really is. They're stifling the innovation. They gave just a little bit, like, all right, you guys can have your rare breed triggers, but that's it. We're not going to let those evolve. We're not going to let them go any farther, and you sure as hell ain't going to be able to do it DIY. You're going to have to pay this company for that trigger. And from what I understand, also, they can't ship like how they ship it. It has to be to the actual person buying that in a physical address. Now, I don't know exactly how it's being enforced because I haven't tried to buy one with, you know, a fake address or a fake name. So I guess that was also a stipulation to the ATF. This way they have shipping records so they know every single person that has a rare breed trigger. All right, so we got rare breed triggers out there that they deputize into patent cops. They're going out there causing all types of chaos. Just popping us back on our heels. Yeah, well, it doesn't just stop there. Kathy Hochul, no one cares anyways, dropped a bomb on January 7th, 2026 in the state of New York. So she's calling for what she calls the plastic pipeline ban. It's a two-part attack on 3D printed guns. And it's pretty wild. The first prong, that's the software ban itself. Any printer sold in New York has to come with built-in software that'll block any gun parts from being made. We're talking mandatory firmware scans in your printer that will shut down if you try to print any sort of contraband. The second prong, she's making the digital files themselves a crime. The CAD files of gun parts or anything like that, yeah, that's a crime. You heard that right. That's wild. So owning blueprints on your computer will now land you in hot water in the state of New York. And you might be saying, oh, you can't stop the signal, you can't stop the signal. We already talked about this back in 2021. Take my bamboo printer for example. The bamboo printer I have right in my house. It can detect what type of filament I'm putting into it, right? Like, it can tell what type of plastic. It can tell if it's bamboo plastic or not plastic, what color it is, what it's made out of, and it's even got AI in there to detect if a printer's failing and it's starting to print spaghetti, or I call it cobwebs anyway. Yeah, that tech is already out there. They can most certainly detect whether or not you're trying to print a gun file, and the printer itself will shut down the print. And this is a shift we're seeing. I mean, we'll have to see how it plans out. Maybe the Supreme Court shuts us down or not, but we're seeing a shift from physical objects to information. And this hits close to home because this is straight out of the auto keycard playbook. They didn't come after us because the auto keycard could make a machine gun. They came after us because the lines on the auto keycard and the information it represented. It represented that that's a lightning link. Yeah, it couldn't actually convert a firearm to a machine gun, but that didn't matter because it was the information that they said was illegal. The feds built their whole case about it's not the card, it's not what the card's made out of, it's the knowledge printed on the card is why these guys are going to prison. And they sent us to prison for years for a drawing on a card. You don't think a drawing on a card doesn't convert to ones and zeros on your PDF file? Yeah, you will get sent to prison 4 years. Maybe someday you'll appeal, maybe someday this will all be shut down, but you're still going to sit your entire prison sentence. We all know that drawings on a card is not regulated by the NFA, but did that stop me from spending time in prison? Absolutely not. Will that stop you from spending time in prison that you didn't actually have a firearm? It was just ones and zeros on a flash drive? Absolutely not. You will go to prison in New York for possessing this information. So what are we realistically looking at here? The CAD files, all those ones and zeros. So possessing one on your hard drive, we're talking about an unregistered gun. Felony. Sharing that file online, we're talking about distributing unregistered firearms without using a 4473. Felony. Browser history, where you have a history of having that particular file or looking at that particular file. Felony. Intent to manufacture an unregistered firearm. Or, if you're talking about Yankee Boogles, machine guns. Legally, this case is basically building on mine and Justin's. So, if we can't win, like say our case gets shut down, now there's a precedent that, hey, information can actually be regulated, and the information itself, because it's firearm related, is outside the scope of the Second Amendment. Because remember, the National Firearms Act did not regulate any sort of information at all. It was actual materials. The NFA regulates machine guns. Not the information about a machine gun, but machine gun. Now the auto keycard expands it to information about machine guns. But here's the rub. Should we win, depending on how high this goes, like right now if we win, it'll just cover the 11th Circuit. But if this all went all the way up to the Supreme Court and we win, now we actually have a case precedent that, hey, the First Amendment does protect all speech, even if that is unpopular speech like firearms speech. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. Because if it doesn't go well, like say we lose, well now what's next? Are we talking about banning books on gunsmithing? Are we talking about posts on Reddit? How far are they willing to take this? Because it's unenforceable trying to regulate information. But they could. All the Supreme Court would have to be is like, here's the line, so if they cross this line, now that's illegal. Now we put this all back together in 2021, the writing was on the wall. Again, I didn't really understand printers and printer technology and how all of it worked. I do now. I kind of wish I could go back in time and tell myself how to remake that video because it's kind of cringy, but this is what the thumbnail looks like right here. Again, remember this video is 5 years old, so it's a little bit hard to watch. And then we have Rare Breed coming against us. We have Kathy Hochul coming against us. They're all coming after the digital information. And that's a whole new world. But again, the laws that were created in 2021 opened that door up. Like I said, they streamlined the process to being able to sue somebody for patent infringement. You used to have a very justifiable case with very solid evidence before you could even try to sue someone. So what do? I mean, we're literally like, they're going after the information now. It's not just the firearms, it's the firearms information. How do we even combat that? What can you possibly do to combat something like that? Well, first off, you support people that are supporting open source, like Hoffman Tactical. Great one, donate to their legal defense. Make sure they don't lose their case. Second, I mean, yeah, I already lost mine, but supporting me too, because I'm going to go through and I'm in the same exact space. And then you need to start calling out patent trolls. Like, don't give them a pass like, oh, this is a necessary evil. No, you guys are causing damage. Necessary evil or not, yeah. You may have stood up to the ATF. Well, now you're kissing the ring because you're doing exactly what they want you to do. You're doing their dirty work. Call out all the patent trolls in our industry. Next, you need to go old school. If you're a 3D printer and you have these files, back them up on physical encrypted flash drives. Cloud is no good. That can all be subpoenaed into court. You need, like I said, go old school. Now, I'm not telling you to break the law because it's not illegal right now. I'm just telling you preventative maintenance in case we hit that point. So right now, no, definitely don't break the law. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just back it up and go old school, just in case. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. If you'd like to help support the channel, one of the best ways to do that, boom, go down in the description, click on that Amazon affiliate link. Even if you don't buy what that link is for, just clicking on it. Doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway, I have a kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.